Well, hi, everybody. Today we're going to be learning about this gobbledygook system that's called our digestive system. And we're going to be thinking about what we need to put through this digestive system to give our bodies everything it needs. We're also going to be a little bit creative, and we're going to think about foods that maybe we haven't ever eaten before that are opportunities for us to learn from, get nutrients from, and have a little fun making at our own houses. First, I want you to understand that when a food breaks down in the digestive system, its nutrients and energy are released in our body to use. Food goes in our mouth where we chew it, down our esophagus, into our stomach, then into our small intestine, which is a long tube, then into our large intestine. Now, our digestive system is very important because it takes all the foods that we eat, whatever that variety is, and it makes the most out of them for our body. Without nutrients, the body would not be able to grow or to heal itself. Nutrients support the essential building blocks of life. That means the things that our body has to have in them to grow. Energy is different from nutrients. Energy is released from food. It's measured in calories, and it represents the amount of fuel available in food. Because today, people get less activity than our ancestors did hundreds and thousands of years ago, because we don't usually run after our food before we eat it. We need the same nutrients that our ancestors had, but we don't need as many calories or fuel. People want the right amount and the right variety of nutrients from food while keeping calories lower to avoid being overweight. Now, here you can see that we can eat veggies all day. Veggies have a lot of nutrients, but they don't have a lot of calories, so we can fill our tummies up on veggies. Potatoes and grains have more calories in them, so it takes less of them to give us calories. Things like meat and then junk food and then oils and fats are very high in calories, so our body doesn't need very much of them at all in order to get enough calories for the day. That's why junk foods aren't really recommended to eat. They're not good for us. Foods that have high nutrient value and lower calories are called nutrient-dense foods. Foods that are nutrient-dense have certain characteristics about them. These foods often come from plants and can be eaten raw like vegetables or fruits. You don't even have to cook them. They can be eaten in their natural form, like nuts, beans, and seeds, or by cooking vegetables as well. High fiber foods like whole grain pasta, bread, brown rice, those are all nutrient dense, really good foods as well. Foods like fish, lean meat, which is meat with less fat on it, poultry, like chicken, eggs, and low fat milk are nutrient dense. Those are very good foods for our bodies. We have to watch how much of them we eat. We want to make sure we eat the right serving size, but they're very good and they hold a lot of the nutrients our bodies need. On the other hand, we have foods like fast foods. Fast foods are processed foods. That means that they go through a process to make them taste a lot better. They're sugary drinks, desserts, fast food from fast food restaurants. They're considered empty calories, which means they give us a lot of that fuel, the calories that our body uses for energy, but they don't give us any or many nutrients, the things that our body has to have to build itself up. So, if you get a lot of calories and not the stuff that your body needs, then you have what's called an excess of calories, too many calories that you can't use in a day. And our body stores that as fat. So we want to stay away from those for the most part. All right. Well, nutrients and nutrition can be made even more exciting if you experience foods from other cultures. Cultural foods oftentimes have more nutrients in them because they use less sugar and meat, and they use more vegetables and grains. You're about to see a bunch of types of cultural foods that are really good for you. These are Asian foods. Asian foods like satay, noodle rolls, steamed vegetables, pho soup, tofu, and sushi are excellent nutrient-dense foods, and they can be fun to make. How about some Mexican foods? Mexican foods like corn tortillas, salsa, beans and rice, tacos, and bean burritos are all great foods. If we jump across the ocean and go to Middle Eastern foods, things like hummus, taboula, and rice and pea salads are all very nutrient dense, interesting foods to eat, and they can make you excited to cook them. There's also Mediterranean foods like eggplant, gazpacho, spaghetti with roasted vegetables, and ratatouille. Scientists have long agreed that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Breakfast breaks the fast. It's the first meal after sleep. When almost half a day has gone by since you've eaten dinner, your body is ready for nutrients in the morning and it needs fuel to get through the day. Breakfast supports morning work at school, and lunch supports afternoon work in the afternoon, like play, leisure time, and sports. The largest and most nutrient dense meal should be breakfast. Skipping breakfast is not a good idea. Not only does it make this breakfast sad, it can make you sad as well. It causes a person to be tired, weak, and unable to think clearly before lunchtime. The ideal breakfast should have some protein like an egg, cheese, or beans, as well as milk, whole grain food and fruit, whole grain cereal like oatmeal, tortilla, or bagel with low fat string cheese. Milk and fruit are quick and easy to prepare, and nothing says a person can't eat healthy leftovers from last night's dinner. If you had something really good for dinner that was healthy, you can reheat it in the microwave for breakfast. A piece of fruit or juice is a good choice for fiber and nutrients as well. When we think about lunchtime, we want to think about eating a lunch that'll help you function better for the rest of your day. Lunch is an opportunity to get more vegetables, whole grains, and meat that are low in fat in it. Eating a low fat milk and breakfast and at lunch helps you be ready for your day for the rest of your day. And it also gives your bones that calcium that they need. We want to be aware of junk foods and bad drinks. Iced tea, soft drinks, and fruit drinks aren't really good for us. They don't provide calcium. They increase tooth decay because the sugar in them eats at the enamel in our teeth, and they increase those empty calories when we get calories without nutrients. The smallest day of the meal should actually be dinner. In America, a lot of times, our biggest meal of the day is dinner. But at nighttime, our body doesn't need as many nutrients because we're going to go to sleep. So we want to think about balancing our day's meals with breakfast being a little bit heavier in the intake and nutrients for calories and building blocks for our body, and then slowly kind of withering the day with what we eat as we go along. Thanks a lot for listening today. I hope you learned something good, something useful, and maybe you and your family can investigate and sample some foods from across the world. Have a great day.